So we'll go into my house, and my house is a little bit small. It's 16 by 16, but I have 4 rooms. Every house has 4 or 5 rooms.
This small house has 4 rooms.
Yeah,
You're kidding?
No, we have electricity. We have everything. So, welcome to my house.
Yeah.
Welcome to my house.
Oh my gosh!
There we have light switches. Yeah, we have light switches, and we have power.
Yeah.
We have everything. And
Look at you, Jackie.
This is my little kitchen.
Yeah.
This is my little kitchen. I cook everything in there.
Can I pop into your kitchen?
Yeah, please come into my kitchen. Of course
But you know,
you
it
can.
can't fit as many people.
I have everything I need.
I can't believe this.
You have everything you need.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of Globe Traktion Show, where we continue to uncover the inspiring story of Professor Jacqueline McGlade. Today, we embark on an immersive journey to Professor Jackie's traditional Maasai homestead, known as Manyata, in the heart of Sekenani, nestled near the Masai Mara National Game Reserve in the southern part of Kenya. Prepare to be enchanted as we explore her traditional house, share captivating stories, and savor the irresistible flavors of roasted goat meat with her newfound family. Professor Jackie's life is a fascinating blend of academic excellence and cultural immersion, including her unique role as the second wife to a local Maasai chief. During our visit, she generously guides us through her hydroponics farming project, a medicinal forest at her backyard, and a tech center, all operated by the Ewangan Cultural Village self-help group she supports. Join us and discover the incredible way she's empowering her community. I hope you enjoyed this story.
Oh, come in. Let me come and let you in.
Oh,
How lovely to meet you, Persil.
nice meeting you too.
Come in, come in. My little house. Do come in. Thank
You're
you.
not aging, Jackie.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, welcome to my home.
I talked to you. You're working on something, right?
Of course, it's Saturday. A little bit of work, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice meeting you, Jackie.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
please
you.
introduce yourself.
I will. So my name is Professor Jacqueline McGlade, Jackie, but I'm also married to a local Maasai chief, so I have my full Maasai name, which is Naserian Letura.
Jackie Naserian Letura, Professor.
Yes, that's a good combination.
By the way, do you speak any Maasai?
I do.
Okay.
Enough to get by.
Enough to get by. Like what?
Well, in greeting terms, if I met you, I would say sopa, sopoleng, how are you? Irasupat, and then you might say kirasupa pi, I'm feeling very good, and I go eh. So there's a little kind of exchange, and maybe when you're going to bed, you might say inkuari sidai, sleep very well. In the morning, iragasupat, did you sleep well? So there's a lot of conversation that helps you through the day.
And you've learned pretty well.
Oh, just about.
You moved to Kenya 2013.
Yes.
How would you describe your experience in fitting into the local community? And don't forget to tell me about how you got married and met your spouse.
Well, I mean, obviously, I could never have projected when I went to the UN to become the chief. Well, at that time, I became a chief scientist and then went on to do other things. But at the time, I was just doing my job. But one of my colleagues had gone to visit the Masai Mara, had met a wonderful group of people down in Sekenani, and said to me, "Could we have a Friday afternoon seminar, you know, to find out how the Maasai live?" I said, "Of course." Yeah. So one afternoon on a Friday, appeared a group of Maasai and warriors, and they essentially came and told us about their way of life.
Dressed in their local regalia?
Absolutely in their sort of local traditional clothes. And what I didn't know was that person who was leading that group became my husband. But he saw me. I didn't really see him. I just saw a person visiting.
Yes.
And he didn't know who I was, but he saw me and said, "Oh, that's the woman I'm definitely going to marry. She looks like the person I dreamed about." And when I was a young person, But his father, of course, was a very senior elder and said, "There's no way you're marrying a Mzungu."
So did he say that when he was in that group that day?
He couldn't speak English at all.
Oh, I see.
So everything was done through one of my staff. But
a translator?
Yes, well, one of the staff just translated.
Yeah.
But they went around the whole of the UN campus, pointing out all the medicinal trees, completely amazed everybody.
Stop it.
Yeah, so you think you're just looking at the bush. No, that's a toothbrush bush. So they explained the environment in which we were living.
Yeah.
So for many of the expats and even for the Kenyans, it was a huge surprise that we were living in this beautiful, beautiful landscape. But it had a whole other meaning to the Maasai just walking around.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do remember him saying that when he first arrived, it was the first time he'd come to Nairobi, and he literally said, where are the cows? Where's the grass? Where all this concrete? What is this all about?
Because Maasai are pastoralists.
He literally had never come to Nairobi before. This was the first time.
Wow.
So roll forward several months, and an urgent message comes from down in Sekanani. It's going to be a big ceremony. Would we like to come? So I went down with a couple of colleagues.
So that was like after how long when they had visited? About 4 months. All this time, is the group in touch with you?
Not really. No, I'm just doing my thing, being a chief scientist, getting on with the world.
Yes.
And so I went down and arrived to a huge gathering of people where Patrick became the local chief, and there was a lot of celebration and so on. And at the end of the ceremony was when the interpreter said to me, as they were throwing milk at me, when I said, "What's this?" He said, "Oh, this is when you as the betrothed say yes." So, yes. Okay, yes. Yes, right.
That's how you got married?
Yes. So, it was a bit of a shock.
It's a shock.
But in the meantime, I've now subsequently found out that when my husband now went back, he had already decided this was all going to happen. So there was quite some arguments and various other things, but nevertheless, it was all smooth sailing after that. And so, yes, he arrived in Nairobi 2 weeks later with a group of warriors and young men from the village, and that was it. It was all happy, and we fell in love, and we've been together ever since.
So you are the chief's wife.
And we built a new village. We had to move, so we went to another piece of land. A lot of people came with us. So I designed a new Maasai village.
Yes.
Which has got a very different design to the houses. They're all mud huts, but they don't have indoor fires. And
Why
as soon
is it
as we
so?
said to the ladies, no indoor fires, this is really bad for you, they went to town and designed the 19-foot by 19-foot house. It has now 4 rooms, and we have Jikos, and we create different ways of putting either charcoal or fuel into that, so it's all clean cooking, so there's no smoke in the houses. Welcome to Iwangan. This is a very traditional boma with mud huts.
So many.
Come look at my house.
Okay.
We're going to go and walk into my house.
How
We
do you
have a corral here for animals.
How do you assemble a boma?
Well, this one was very special. It was started from scratch, and we built them all at once.
Yes.
And then the ladies designed all kinds of different ways. So we'll go into my house, and my house is a little bit small. It's 16 by 16, but I have 4 rooms. Every house has 4 or 5 rooms.
This small house has 4 rooms.
Yeah.
You're kidding?
No, we have electricity, and we have everything. So welcome to my house.
Yeah.
Welcome to my house.
Oh my gosh!
There we have light switches. Yeah, we have light switches. And we have power.
Yeah.
We have everything. And
Look at you,
this is my little kitchen.
Yeah.
This is my little kitchen. I cook everything in there.
I see you have some eggs.
I've got everything. Fruits, vegetables. We have made some mursik, some yogurt. Traditional yogurt.
Yeah.
And I cook.
Can I pop into your kitchen?
Yeah, please come into my kitchen. Of course you can.
But it can't fit as many people.
I have everything I need.
I can't believe this.
You have everything you need. Saucepans, plates,
I can't believe this.
vegetables, trays, cups.
Yeah.
Everything.
So when you want
Gas.
to wash the dishes, you're going to
Bowls.
wash them from outside?
No, I just have water here and I just wash them in the bowls. 1, 2, 3 bowls. Dirty, soapy, rinse, dry.
Wow, then why do we look for big houses?
I don't know. This is my 16-foot by 16-foot heaven on earth. So let me show you. Let me show you. So this is my bedroom. Of course.
I mean the chief's wife
Yeah,
bedroom.
exactly. So do come in.
Wow.
So it's a proper double bed.
Yeah.
And shelves, and we put our clothes in boxes. So as
And
you'd
then
expect.
you even have a lamp.
lights and I know, it's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, what about that thing right
This is my wedding collar. This is my wedding collar. So you can see my wedding collar. This is what the ladies, when I met Patrick at the ceremony.
Yes.
And I didn't have Naserian as my name then, so that was, they put Jackie on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, come with me, let's explore Masai Mara, based in Kenya. The beauty that you never know.
When I first entered the Rift Valley, you cannot imagine the size of it. It is just a vast, enormous landscape. And when you get into it, you recall that this is where humans evolved. Now, 5 to 10 million years ago, when the temperature changed and it became much cooler, the tropical rainforests retreated and the woodlands spread. And with that, the early hominins got up on 2 legs, so to speak, became bipedal. They had to use less energy and they could walk much further to get their dinner. And it is the seeds and roots of the hominin at that time that tell us that we can be ultimately how innovative and we can find solutions to a rapidly changing world. If you think about the Rift Valley, some of you may know and recognize the most iconic of the tribes, the Maasai tribe, known for their bravery, their jumping competitions, but really, in a sense, these are the closest to Paleolithic that you can get. They roam the countryside, they're able to live in very, very extreme conditions and to thrive. So what is it that the Maasai have that makes them feared across Africa and yet totemically iconic of a future? Well, it is about community, and it's about the way in which, at one level, everybody has their own job to do, but at another level, they actually work together. Now, a year ago, I entered the village to watch a ceremony which was to make the new chief. The man in the middle, who's got the cup, is the oldest man in the village. He's about 107, as far as I can estimate, 108 maybe. But he's surrounded by many others of about the same age. And he'd been the chief for 70 years, and he was basically fed up with it. He wanted to retire. He'd been doing it for too long, same job, 70 years, my goodness, So he decided that he was going to get his son, his firstborn son, to become the chief. So they amassed the Maasai from all over, from Samburu to Tanzania. People traveled for days to come. It was a huge ceremony. And part of it is about dancing and singing and jumping and having fun. And much of it is about the preparation of food. And here the men, who always eat separately from the women during these ceremonies, are actually consuming a very special soup made of meat and fat and fantastic herbs. Also some blood, by the way. Ceremony goes on. There's much milk being splashed about. And for another time, I will tell you what happened. But anyway, I found myself betrothed to the chief. Sort of thing that might happen on a Saturday afternoon. But anyway, off we go, and I became part of the Maasai tribe.
When you met Patrick, was he single?
No, he has a family. He has a wife and 3 children, 3 young children. Yeah.
But in a different village?
No, here, in this village. So we're very unusual.
We are in the same Manyata?
Yeah, we live side by side.
Yes. Tell us, is polygamy allowed?
Yeah.
So do you want to get yourself 2 wives? You can go up to 5.
Okay.
Ask Patrick how many wives the father had.
How many wives?
9.
9 wives?
Yeah.
You're joking?
No, I'm serious.
9 wives?
How many do you want to have you?
Well, if he can have 9, I'll have 9.
Yeah. You can manage?
Yeah, I'll take the 9.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. 9's
When it
good.
comes to decision making, it is quite an extraordinary thing. So faced with the most extreme drought, with the cattle dying, which is like a bank account on legs, we decided to talk about the future of the whole of the Maasai. We talked about, well, we can't afford to have so many cows if all they're going to do is die. So overnight, everyone went back to their houses, they talked amongst the men, amongst the women, and what they came back the next morning was with 5, 5, 2. 5 cows, 5 children, 2 wives. Not 9 wives, as it used to be. Because then they could afford to feed everyone, then they can afford to put everybody in school. But it was a communal decision, it was a community decision that spread across the whole of the Maasai within a day.
This is the croton tree.
Yeah, this is orange leaf croton.
Yeah.
It's got a very special scent,
Yeah.
the white scent. You can just apply it to your skin, and actually it's all insect repellents, especially the mosquitoes.
And the other thing is, with the animals here, you sort of know them. You know what they've eaten, you know where they've been.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a completely different experience. So it's not like a mass-produced. It's not like a mass-produced animal.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful animal that we're going to have. Very healthy, really, really at the top of its game. Now, I never thought I used to be a vegetarian, but I never thought I would come around. But yeah,
But then you changed
within
your
2
diet,
weeks.
Yes.
Within 2 weeks. Hey,
Yes.
Sofa, Sofa.
It's a nice way of association. Oh, look at you.
Mama Naishuru.
Yeah,
Mama Naishuru.
Mama sure.
Eh,
This is where? This is Persil.
Say hi to your friend.
Yes, Mama Nasheru.
Mama Naishuru.
These people are so lovely.
Welcome.
Magadali.
Magadali, yeah. And then I brought water from the mountain. I put a 2 kilometre of PPR piping, brought water down to the village, which was quite an amazing thing for some of them. They said,
Yeah,
how did the
because
water get
they are
here?
used to going to the river.
But
Yeah.
also they couldn't quite understand how the pipes would bring water from a spring
Oh, yes.
down to the village.
Yes.
So I said, oh, it's gravity. So I explained gravity. Of course, I never go to school. So when you think, oh, gravity, okay, fine, yes. But it was wonderful. 2 weeks later, I heard one of the warriors explaining to a visitor, oh, it's gravity, you know. So it was like they'd completely taken over all of this knowledge
Yeah.
as to how we had water.
And it's
then-
because also they have a professor in the family who is now the chief's wife.
Well,
I understand
and we have
there's-
power, we have electricity. Every house has got lights in it.
So you
and
can,
power.
you can.
So all the houses have lights, and you can charge, and you can do everything. You have Wi-Fi, we have everything in. We were very, very keen on recycling and waste. So these are posts made out of plastic, recycled plastic. So if you gather all the plastic up, so you can buy posts instead of having to go and find wood.
Yeah,
These are, and they're termite proof.
this will be for fencing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're termite proof, which is fantastic, really.
Wow.
So this is just some display of the material. So we order that.
Do them in large quantities?
Yeah, you can do thousands.
But
Absolutely
are you doing
thousands.
that here?
Yeah, we organise it. So we don't do the melting here because we didn't want the pollution anywhere near
Yes.
the park. But we gather the plastic and send it off. And then we work out how people need fencing wherever they are around the Mara.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what are the kinds of things that you do in the day, Matalan?
Online services like KRA application and other services like scholarship and loan application for the students who are joining universities.
So this is really an incredibly important service. So we basically have lessons. You can see we teach IT for young students, and then we have a little workspace here where we can do teaching. This is a biosystem, a reed system. So the water comes from the toilets, goes into the settler, and then goes through 2 reed beds and then goes out. So it's essentially all clean water comes out. It's very dry, but normally this is just filled with butterflies. It's just a gorgeous place. And you can hear some of the birds,
Yes,
obviously
singing
the
in the
weaver birds.
tree.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So all the plants are here for a reason. So this interesting plant,
This is a flower.
yes, but if you chew it and you have tonsillitis, although it's horribly bitter,
Yeah.
by the next day you won't have tonsillitis.
Perhaps tell me about the tech center
Yeah.
specifically.
Well, it's been an amazing surprise because, first of all, there was some land, And when I arrived, I realized that there was no chance of anything, no employment, but really critically, many people can't read and write here. And so suddenly you have to do a lot of online. And how do you do it? So I decided at that point to build a cyber, as it was called, but it was much more than that because we had to hire young people who could then fill the forms in for people. So we had the first Wi-Fi all around here. I put in a special kind of mast, built all of that. And that's how it started. But gradually, with the CBO, the community-based organisation, we were able to bring people in, and we started then on waste collection. So at one point we had 20 staff collecting waste locally from the lodges and all over. We planted medicinal trees because there was nothing there. And so we then created this wonderful place for people to come and sit, have picnics, have coffee. So it became a kind of gathering place. Then COVID hit, so no one really could go outside. So we're now picking ourselves up, and we've decided with Future we need to create jobs for young people. So now the Tech Centre has had what we call visioning practices and workshops with Fast Forward. And through that we've got 3 ideas, and the top one was to go to hydroponics. Nobody knew what it was, but it's perfect because it's soilless, basically growing food. We need fresh food here. So we don't have very much water. It sort of ticks every box, but most importantly, it creates 10 jobs. And suddenly, young people have got more confidence. So we've gone from a cyber, helping people fill out their KRA and all their different forms, then training people to use computers, bringing school kids in, having little business meetings, so a little coffee area, doing the waste collection, and now a fully blown hydroponics setup. It's amazing.
Tell me about the hydroponic project, because I see Professor Jackie, gave me just a sneak peek, and she tells me you're the guy in charge.
We decided that we can actually solve the problems on the food, maybe shortage on the community.
Yeah, like food security.
Yeah. And also sometimes to reduce the distance to access the fresh vegetables.
Someone who doesn't understand hydroponic, you're lucky because you've gone to school and perhaps worked around this project as the project manager. There's somebody within the community that doesn't know what hydroponic is. What does it mean?
So the hydroponics is a kind of farming, but this is an organic farming, and we actually say it is a soilless farming. Without soil? We don't have to use soil. And the hydroponic at some points, it can work with little farm that you have.
Your marriage, you're showing me today how are you calling that whole jewelry piece?
Well, it's just the jewelry. They each have special names. Every one of them has a special name, yeah.
What is it that gets you stick around to assist the community? Because you have the alternative to go back to the UK, get to that village in England and just enjoy life with Patrick.
Yeah, but we wouldn't leave. Patrick and I would never leave people now. He's the local chief. Why would he go? You make a commitment to people and you can't walk away from that. So, yeah, literally that's what we do. And we try our hardest, literally the 2 of us, to bring as much as we can to the local community and work as hard as we can and put as much effort as we can to get all the children to school, to create these jobs, and to help everyone realise that there is a different future literally waiting to be grabbed, and try. And I'm very lucky because Strathmore has been incredibly supportive. So yeah, we can try and bring them here and take people down there and apply for research grants. It's the only way. We see the future of planting trees in forests like the Mao not only is essential, but it will create ethnomedicines and many, many other things as well.
Just recently, not so long ago, of course, you've been working with Stroe University, where you still are right now.
Yes.
3-4 years?
I've been there for 4 years, yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just created this new hub that deals with what?
Natural capital.
Look at you.
And it's the first in Africa because we realised across the piece in Strathmore, we're able to deliver knowledge around every part of that, whether it's energy or water, biodiversity, land. And more businesses need to know that this kind of world of natural capital, the accounting, which banks and investors are looking for, they can come to Strathmore and find out about it. They don't have to go to America. They don't have to go to London. They can come here in Africa and learn about the African aspect of natural capital.
How has it been for you having this new idea that hasn't existed in the country around?
It's exciting because it ties into the courses that we teach, the graduate courses of international public policy, even MBAs. I teach in sort of ecological economics. All the things that we've talked about now, literally students who've just done the course have got jobs on the back of it. They've walked out, they've learnt all these new acronyms, TNFD, TCFD, all these different things, and they've walked into interviews and people have said, wow, I want to hire you. Exactly. Yeah. So we're helping businesses because now we're putting right into their sort of daily thinking people who are at the leading edge of where these new markets are opening. And I think working together for me is always going to be the solution. So that's really the only wisdom, whether it's old or young, be with people, but be with nature.
Be with people, but be with nature. I love that.
It's been great. Thank you so much, Pastor, and I do hope everything turns out well. Thank you. So let me see you out.
Thank you.
Normally, you know, in English tradition, I would now have my handkerchief and I would be waving you away. So take that as a given.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you, and travel well.
Bye-bye. How time flies. That's it for part 2 of this 3-part series with Professor Jackie Naserian. Thank you so much for watching Globe Traction Show. Be sure to join us again next week for part 3 of this incredible story. If you would like to be featured on the show, reach us through globetraction@standardmedia.co.ke or via our social media platforms at Globe Traction or at KTN News KE. You can also follow me on my social media platforms at Persil Telewa on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok for more updates and behind-the-scenes photos and videos. Join us again next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. for another exciting episode of Globe Traction as we keep the conversation going online. Bye-bye for now.